This is a set which is based on Venn diagram, and it is one of the most difficult set in this section, considering the humongous amount of data that we have to deal with, plus the pressure that we feel while taking a test. So in all, this is one of the sets that should be taken up towards the end of this section. Here we have 480 students in an MBA college, and each student had to choose 3 out of 5 subjects, namely BM, DM, RM, CM, and MR. The following information is about the selection of 3 subjects, namely BM, DM, and RM, by the students. Here, one thing should be noted, and that is each of the 480 students had to pick one subject at least out of the 3 subjects DM, BM, and RM, because everybody had to pick 3 subjects out of given 5 subjects. So the given information would deal with these 3 colleges programs instead, and it would be a problem of Venn diagram having 3 sets. So let's draw a Venn diagram in which we have 3 sets BM, DM, and RM. Here A represents the number of students who choose only BM, B represents the number of students who choose only DM, and C represents the number of students who choose only RM. Similarly, D is the number of students who choose only BM and DM, that is BM and DM but not GM. Similarly, we can give account of F, G, F, E, and G. G is the number of students who choose all the 3 subjects out of BM, DM, and RM. Now come to the statement first. And here we have 3 times the number of students who choose exactly 2 of the 3 subjects was equal to the sum of number of students who choose exactly 1 subject and that of those who choose exactly 3 subjects, which means here it is given that D plus E plus F is equal 3 times of this is equal to A plus B plus C plus G. When we add D plus E plus F to both sides, we'll get 4 times D plus E plus F equals A plus B plus C plus D plus E plus F plus G, and we know that this quantity will be equal to 480, as each of the 480 students chose at least one of these 3 subjects. So from here we'll get D plus E plus F as 120. Now coming to the second statement, here it is given that the number of students who choose DM and RM but not BM is, that is 16, is E is equal to 16 more than those who choose BM and DM but not RM, that is D. So E is 16 plus D. Now coming to the third statement, in which it is given that the number of students who chose all the 3 subjects was at least 15, which means G is greater or equal to 15. In statement 4th, it is given that the number of students who chose only DM was more than that of those who chose only BM, which means B is greater than A. Coming to statement 5th, the number of students who chose both BM and DM but not RM, that is D, was at least one fifth and at most one third of those who chose exactly two subjects. The number of students who chose exactly two subjects was 120. So DM has to be one fifth, at least one fifth of this, which is 24, and at most one third of 120, which is 40. So D lies between 24 and 40 in both inclusive. And from 2 we know that E is 16 more than D, so we'll have E greater or equal to 24 plus 16 and less or equal to 40 plus 16. This gives us E lies between 40 and 56. Now coming to the next statement, in which it is given that the number of students who chose BM, that is A plus D plus G plus F, is 4 less than that of those who choose RM, which means C plus E plus G plus F minus 4. And in the last statement it is given that the number of students who chose only RM was 6 times that of those who chose all the three subjects, which means C is 6 times of G. If we look at all the info that we have after going through the 7 statements, we realize that there are two variables which are connected with the which can be connected with the same variable, and these variables are D and E, but we do not know what the exact value of D is, but we know that it lies between 24 and 40. So from here, if we take D equals 24 plus something, let's say it is X, where X will be 0 to 16. From here we'll get E as 40 plus X. Now we can find the value of F as 120 minus D plus E. On substituting value of D and E, we'll get F as 56 minus 2x. Now have a look at the info that we have in statement 6th. We'll get A plus D equals C plus E minus 4, from where we'll get A D, which is 24 plus X, equals C, which is 6G, and E, which is 40 plus X minus 4. From here we'll get A equals 6G plus 12. We know that the minimum value of Z is 15. So when G is 15, A will be 102. When G is 16, A will be 108. When G is 17, A will be 114, and so on. In order to find value of B, we can use info, that is A plus B plus C plus G as 360, because we know that the total number of students who had to pick these three subjects was 480, and the number of students who picked up exactly two out of these three subjects was 120. So the number of students who chose exactly one subjects plus the number of students who chose exactly three subjects must have been 480 minus 120. So A plus B plus C plus Z will be 360. We know that A is equal to 6G plus 12, B is not known, and C is equal to 6G plus Z, this is 360. So B will be 348 minus 13G, and we also know that B is greater than A. So let's see what could be the possible value of B. When A is when G is 15, B will be 153. When G is 16, B will be 140. When G is 17, B will be 127. When G is 18, B will be 114, which is not possible because B is more than A. So G can assume only three values, and these values are 15, 16 and 17. Now we can see value of C as well, as C is 6G, so its values will be 90, 96 and 102. These are the quantities values of which we can calculate, but we cannot find individual values of D, E and F. Now come to the first question. It is asking, students who chose only DM exceeded those who chose only BM by at least. So basically we have to find the minimum possible value of the absolute difference between A and B out of these three these three possible cases. We can say that the difference will be minimum in the last case when A is 114 and B is 127, and this difference will be equal to 13. Therefore option B is the correct answer. Coming to the second problem, it is asking what is the minimum number of students who chose BM. So first of all we'll have to find the total number of students who chose BM. It is A plus D plus E plus Z. Instead it is F. We know that A is 6G plus 12, D is 24 plus X, F is 56 minus 2X and plus Z. This comes out to be 92 minus X plus 7G. As we have to maximize the value of this expression it will only be maximum when x is minimum, and this can be 0 as it lies between 0 and 16. So the remaining quantity is 92 plus 7z, and the maximum value that g can take is 17. Therefore the maximum value of the required quantity will be 92 plus 7 into 17. This is 217. Therefore option B is the correct answer. In the next question, we have to find what is the minimum number of students who choose RM, and exactly one out of BM and DM. It will be D plus F. Here E is 40 plus X and F is 56 minus twice of X. So this quantity will be 96 minus X. As we have to minimize this quantity, it will be minimum only when X is maximum possible, which can be 16. Therefore the required value will be 96 minus 16, which is 18. Therefore option D is the correct answer. Now coming to the last question. Here we have to find how many students choose at least one among DM, BM and RM, given they had to select 3 out of 5 subjects. We have already discussed each of the 480 students had to pick at least one out of these 3 subjects. So answer of this question has to be the total number of students, that is 480, which is option B.